Um, I'm just going to give it a moment for people to join us, and I'm going to ask you if whoever is watching this, if you could please share this with the various social media platforms that you use, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email us. It's a very important message that I want to get across. What we have right now, we have a candidate for the Ontario NDP for Hamilton Centre, Sarah Jama. Sarah Jama is with the BDS movement and has made speeches, attended rallies put up by organizations that, one organization that held a rally was Samadon, and they're listed by the governments of Israel as a front organization for terrorist organizations such as the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. That group, PFLP, is listed by the government of Canada as a terrorist organization. She has called for the destruction of Israel. She makes outlandish statements against Israel. She accuses Israel of discriminating against blacks, which is an outright lie. She's made so many lies, but the bottom line is she wants Israel wiped out. The NDP party is supporting her. The NDP party is trying to spin her candidacy by saying that she is not anti-Semitic, because what we have are self-hating Jews who are in fact members of the BDS. And the BDS itself is an anti-Semitic organization, a pro-terrorist organization with solid ties with terrorist organizations. They're based in Ramallah. The composition of the BDS National Committee is with Hamas, the Islamic Jihad, and other terrorist organizations. These Jews who the NDP party is holding up as examples, you see, we have Jews who support her. These Jews are at BDS rallies calling for the destruction of Israel. They chant for an intifada. They chant from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. There's no talking to them. There's no compromise with them. You have one, in fact, that calls himself a rabbi, and he's going to bat for Sarah Jama. Going to bat for her. He's not a rabbi. He, in fact, states publicly that he considers the stories, the biblical stories in the Torah and the other holy books that Jews hold dear in our synagogues and we learn in our yeshivas and our academies that are holy to us. He calls them myths. And he calls himself a rabbi, and he wants Israel to not exist. He's not a rabbi, he's a pastor. Other examples of other Jews that have joined, they have not made any contributions to the Jewish community, quite the contrary. And many of them have married out of the faith to people who are of other faiths. In fact, they have married, some of them have married, in fact, followers of Islam who also call for Israel to be destroyed. That there's a holy jihad against Israel. I think it's important that we understand and we take the NDP party to task because they are legitimizing anti-Semitism. Here's another point. Sarah Jama, she wants the police abolished. In other words, there's been so much violence against Jewish communities, and the main source of the violence against Jewish communities have been from the BDS, from supporters of radical Islamic terrorism against Jews and Israel. She wants the police to be abolished, and therefore, if Jewish communities are under attack from BDS terrorists, there is no one to call. There's no police to call. There's no safety for Jews. She wants no safety for Jewish communities in Canada. And the NDP party of Ontario is embracing her. It's outrageous. We have to take them to task. The elections, the by-election is going to be later this week coming up. We have to take the NDP party Ontario to task and call them and label them what they are, enablers of vicious anti-Semitism. They have no principles. They don't stand for anything. My father, may he rest in peace, years ago, he supported the NDP, as many Jews did, because times were different. Times were way different, like 60 years ago or so, when work conditions were very difficult in factories. There was no air conditioning. There may have been fans regurgitating hot air, working in very difficult conditions. And you had parties such as the NDP that addressed these concerns, and unions were a lot different back then too. That's not the case today. Today's society has grown up and has changed dramatically, and human rights and all kinds of rights are there. Workers' rights are all there. The NDP is not the same as it was, but they are embracing anti-Semitism, most vicious type of anti-Semitism. There was a statement put out by the Nation of Islam from Louis Farrakhan just about a week ago. They're making statements against Jews that we have to go after, they say, the synagogue of Satan. They also say, according to them, Hitler was not anti-Semitic. They're praising Hitler, the Nation of Islam. Are there black leaders calling out the Nation of Islam? I don't see it. I don't hear it. But this candidate, Sarah Jama, she is black. And she's using that as a weapon to attack Jews. It's outrageous. And we have to call out this anti-Semitism. And we have to call it the NDP of Ontario. There's absolutely no question about it. And we can't give an inch. Please share this video. We have a lot of work to do. Let's roll up our sleeves. Thank you very much. Please share this.